Flapping your gums with Vinny and Hessey. Yeah!
Oh, hey, nice
sweatshirt there, Mom. Hey, this is the new episode of Flapping Your Gums with Vinny and
Ann.
Mom. Yeah.
Mom
and Ann.
and Mom.
And. So, you're visiting Sean this week. You're watching Alexa. See how I can hear myself through your computer?
You can? Oh, yeah.
Yes. So, I'm not sure.
So
But
we're here
just
for the
doing this-
Nutcracker.
Yeah, you're there for the Nutcracker. For Alexa to do the Nutcracker, and she does it every year. And they do a Friday and Saturday night.
We're going
Performance.
tonight.
How's the weather there? You're wearing a sweatshirt.
The car said 50, so it's good.
You
I'm
look
just
so
always
nervous.
cold.
So Sean went on a fire call, and I called Mom, and I'm like, hey, get in there, and we'll hit record so that he can have some more to edit. Is it coming through on your headphones?
No.
So take the headphones off, and there should be a switch on them.
I can hear you better without it.
I know, it's because it's coming through the computer.
Oh, got it.
So while we hurry and do this little blip of recording with Mom, did it not come on yet?
Oh,
Don't break it. But that way we're going to stop recording, and Sean will get on here, and he'll see that Mom and I recorded a little video, so that he'll have to edit that in there.
maybe we'll do it without it. Can we do that?
If you can, that's fine. That's great. Just everybody can hear me. See, like
But
I
they
can
can't-
say something, and then it goes to his microphone. So it sounds like I have an echo.
Oh,
That's okay. This is just for messing around. We'll slap Mom on there, and it'll be fun.
you know, Mom and electronics just don't work.
Yeah, we were talking about that, I think 2 weeks ago. We were talking about the VHS stuff, and how, like Dad used to edit our VHS tapes with cutting it out, taping them together, and how old, like, VHS and all that was and where it's gone from. So I can only imagine what you guys used to deal with. Record players, cassettes.
Record
8
players.
tracks.
Back in my day, it was just record players, and I had a transistor radio. That was it. I finally, when I was in high school, got actual stereo where it played the record, and it had a radio on it. One of those with the plastic lids.
Right.
I was
so it
in high school.
So it had multi-function. It was record and radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to ask Dad what they call they used to call those speakers and something else. It wasn't like, it was not Wi-Fi. They called them, what did they call them, hi-fi or high?
Hi-fi.
Hi-fi?
Hi-fi speakers, yeah.
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 So you guys are just out there for a few days, hanging out. You went antiquing today. Did you find anything good?
Didn't find anything because I'd say, I have that, I have that, I have that, So, nothing new.
Nothing new. Well, nothing new old, nothing old new?
Nothing
Is
new
that how you
old,
say it?
yeah.
Nothing new old?
Nothing we
new
didn't
old.
have already.
Well, I mean, we've already talked about you thinking about doing like a little antique shop down at your house. Just kind of putting together a little shop type boutique,
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah, it would be Annie's Antiques,
Oh, nice.
and but haven't got that far yet. Planning a hopefully big, like, yard sale. But I like to watch a lot of shows over in England and different things, and they call them jumbo sales. So I thought,
Okay.
I'm going to put out there I'm having a big jumbo sale, and maybe people would be more interested and say, hey, let's go see what it is and get more business. I don't know.
So is it a jumbo sale? Is just one person? Is it multiple people that get together and bring their stuff?
Both.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just kind of instead of calling it a yard sale, they call it a jumbo sale.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I do like watching the Antique Roadshow. The Antique Roadshow is a pretty good show.
Yeah, it's fun. I always
you
say,
watch-
"Oh, wonder how much ours would be of that," or we are antiques.
Yeah, well, yeah. Some of the stuff that we even go and play with at that farm is still
Oh, we still
some of
use
Dad's
it.
old stuff. Yeah, and still use it. It's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. I know you
Well,
like
that's- Oh, go ahead.
the milk cart or the milk jugs. Milk jugs are always a popular one. The one that I did see, I actually watched it the other day. The guy had a Rolex that he got in the Army
Oh,
way back in, I don't know if it was Vietnam or if it was probably older than that, but he had this Rolex that he got when he was over there and had all the paperwork, had the box, had the receipt, had all that, and he bought it for like $200 or $250, and it was worth like $150.
oh,
So it's
didn't really go up that much. Yeah.
$150,000.
Oh, 150,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
because it had all the paperwork, he had all the original stuff. It didn't have hardly any wear and tear on it, and it was low end back then, but they just didn't really make it very long. People actually bought the cheap ones and used them, And this guy had just kind of bought it, kept it nice and clean, and he was able to take it there. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you should insure it for at least $150,000." So
Yeah. So was
So
he
he
going to
was pretty
sell it or
stoked.
keep it?
I don't know. He didn't say. He just fell on the ground because he was so shocked. He had big old long hair and he had a bandana on, so he was just like shocked that it was worth that much. So it just depends. And then there was another one, and I like the furniture stuff when they find all the hidden compartments
yeah.
in some of the furnitures and that. And I'm just like, this is pretty cool.
Well, there's we have a little story about, the drying rack I use for the laundry.
Yeah.
The pegs that come up. Well,
Right.
here in Fallon at their museum, they have one in their museum.
Oh my gosh.
We're like, oh, that's just, Sean goes, Mom, that's just like yours, and you still use it. It was Grandma Clench's, and who knows how old it was from there.
And does that one fold up?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they just have arms that just
And the
come
pegs
around in a
come
circle,
out.
right?
Yeah, and the legs can kind of come out. Yeah, wooden pegs.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
it in the museum. So what year does the one in the museum say it is?
I don't remember that. I don't remember what it was.
You have a phone. So this little thing right here, it's
Yeah.
a phone, and they
Yeah.
come with cameras now, so you can like take pictures of things, and you can remember what.
Well, this was a long time ago. We went
Oh,
to the
you didn't
museum.
go recently. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a while back, so
Oh,
it's even older now.
aren't we all older now?
So back on our like DVDs and
Yeah.
and all that for music and movies. I didn't know if you remember going to Aunt Judy's. And do you remember the big discs?
Laser
they
discs.
Look like,
Yeah.
They look like records that she'd put in the machine and it'd play the movies. That was the first time I'd ever seen anything like that played movies like that.
Yeah, it was kind of, they went with, I think they tried Beta. Beta was kind of like a VHS. It was just smaller. It didn't really take off as much, I don't think. And VHS came out at the same time, might have been cheaper, so it kind of beat out Beta. And then after a little while, then the laser disc came out, which, like you said, it was the size of a record.
Yeah.
And then it kind of took off, but not really.
I
and
don't
then
know if it did
went
or
to
not.
it went to compact disc pretty quick. After that, I think.
VHS, I think, was the
We had
main.
VHS, then Laserdisc, and then it's kind of stuck with VHS for a while. But then when CD came out, so that's compact disc, that really took off and kind of wiped out VHS.
Yeah, I wonder what year the VHS or the CDs came out. The movie CDs.
The Laserdiscs?
Yeah.
Well, see this thing right here? This is called the phone. And we can look it up. We
Because
just
it'd
Google.
be interesting. Because we still have a VHS
We
machine
used to-
and have
I think
movies we
don't-
watch.
we were talking about it, and we weren't sure if you guys still had the VHS and the VHS recorder where it had the dual. We didn't know if you guys still had that or not.
No, I think we upgraded or we had to buy a new VHS, and I don't think it had that on there. I can't remember. You'd have to ask your dad about that. But talking about Dad editing the VHSs, somebody was talking about on the news they hadn't seen Titanic. And I said, well, maybe it's because of some of the scenes. And Mark goes, well, Dad goes, well, gosh, you can edit that, and you can buy edit ones. You remember him editing scenes out of movies like that?
Yes,
So
we talked about it.
them. Yeah.
It was last week, I think. Was it last week? We talked about that Doc Hollywood with Michael J. Fox.
Yes,
and Sean's like, oh, yeah, where the girl comes up out of the water. I'm like, yeah, Dad pulled the tape out. He cut it and then taped it back together.
It back together, yeah.
And I said, I don't know if they had special tape or if they had just Scotch tape. Sean's like,
no, I
it's
think
probably
it was
Scotch tape.
special tape with his machine that he did it. But
So
yeah.
it says here, Laserdisc was first available on the market in Atlanta, Georgia on December 11th, 1978.
Oh, okay.
So Laserdisc came out in 78.
The year
2
you
years
were
after
born.
the introduction of VHS, VCR, and 4 years before the introduction of CDs.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
It came out in 78, 2 years after VHS. Don't know if it really took off or not. VHS hung on for another 4 years.
Yeah, I
and
don't
then
think
CDs
it
started.
did.
But VHS lasted a long time because my
Long
kids,
time.
we had cupboard full of Disney movies and stuff like that.
Right.
So until like the late 90s, it really was still pretty popular on VHS.
Yeah, and I still have tons of VH movies. And I said, I know we have a Christmas movie, and I can't I think it's The Grinch. And I said, I know we have that, but then I looked it up, and we have it VHS. And because of the remodeling, we don't have that hooked up yet,
Oh. Well, that's pretty interesting. It's hard, and VHS, after you watch them over and over, I remember the Santa Claus.
Yeah.
When the kids would watch it so many times. And then you get that nostalgia of when you first put it in there, and it starts off, and it goes, it's all like slow, and like it's been worn out in that spot for so long. But I mean, sometimes that is a good memory. Like if I watch it now, I'm watching it on Netflix or Disney or whatever it is, and it's just you hit play and it goes, and I miss that.
Uh-oh, I just heard something on my speaker. It went kaboom boom. That doesn't mean Sean's on his way, does it?
I don't know. I mean, he said it was 20 minutes at 1:57. So it's only been 13 minutes ago.
Okay.
So we're getting pretty close.
Okay, because we're going to have to wrap this up so he doesn't know.
We're going to wrap this up. Well, thanks for talking about old school stuff, Mom. I think it's fun. I think if this goes well, we'll just have you back on again as a guest.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Hey, we can talk about all the old stuff.
Oh, yeah. And I can correct you on some of the things you've talked about.
Oh, we don't need to correct anything. Just let people's imaginations go. I was looking up the Rose Bowl because I'm watching a little bit of college game right now, and then I looked up the Pasadena Rose Parade. I was looking up the Tournament of Roses when you called and said, "Hey, I'm in Sean's studio." So
yeah,
but
I went as a kid and walked through and saw those floats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just watched the game before I came out here, and they were tied.
The Bengals.
35 seconds or 36 seconds left in the game, so.
That's the Bengals game?
Bengals game, yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't have NFL Network. I can't watch it.
Oh, well, it's tied. It was
I
tied.
need the Bengals
I don't know
to
what's
win.
happened now.
Does Sean need the Bengals to win?
Yeah. Oh, he's
Yeah.
got the spread. Or
Yeah,
you have
so
the
do I.
spread, he said.
I have the spread.
You have the spread, yeah.
So the Bengals need to win by 3.
Oh, well, it's tied right now. It was. I don't know where we're at.
Oh, it's still tied. Overtime.
Okay.
24-24.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm going to let
Thanks,
you
Mom.
guys go.
You gotta
Merry
push
Christmas
stop on
to
there, though.
everybody, all your watchers, and
Thanks.
Happy New Year's. And
This will be our biggest episode yet.
we'll see you later.
All right, bye. Love you.
Love you.
All right. What's up, dude? We are back. Flapping your gums with Vinny and Hessey. You know who this is. Hessey. And you
I'm
know who
Vinny.
that is.
What's up?
Ooh, yeah. So we're hitting it up. First and foremost, let's get a shout out, dude. I was sporting the Titans shirt,
Right.
the Titans hat. We were on a Saturday before
So
the
the day
Titans
before the game.
played the Dolphins,
Yeah.
and the Titans put a shellacking on the Dolphins.
They did. They did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if I say I say shellacking.
Slacking?
I don't know if
Dang,
that's
dude, that was
if that's actually what it was. I think they won by a point, and it was
one,
barely.
one
So-
point. Yeah.
But hey, a win's a win.
Well, especially for them, that's a slacking.
Dude, yeah, you got to take what you can get, dude. They're terrible.
Oh.
So and then I went out old school.
Nice. Got your
the old
flap-
Kevlar.
The original
I got
flap logo.
the old Kevlar.
Got the rhino lining.
just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the old Kevlar
Yeah,
here.
rhino lining.
So we're here on a Saturday. We're gonna do a Saturday. I think for the main reason that I'm gonna throw it out there is because it helps me with the editing. Because we got this new editing program, and
Right.
it's a lot to relearn, and so it gives me a little extra time. Because we had a little hiccup on the YouTube last episode,
Yeah.
but I mean, I got a couple emails and stuff for some listeners letting me know, which is super cool. Thank you.
We had more views
know.
on the 18-minute YouTube than we did on the full episode.
Do we?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's probably because they thought they were clicking on it and like, oh, cool. What's this one? Something like they thought it would be something.
Like a little
Well,
short.
even some of them were like, oh yeah, I just picked it back up. I just fast forwarded it 18 minutes and then listened the rest of the time because I did finally get it to work. But yeah, so bear with us. I mean, I think it turned out, the audio one turned out, I think, pretty good.
It's great.
On the podcast.
Yeah, we're perfect.
And then I mean,
It
we're
is what
knocking
it
out of the park. This is big money. We're big money.
Big Money
podcast
Productions right here.
dude. Big Money
Yep.
Productions. I should say underneath it. Yeah. So then we were going to shoot this one earlier, and then I get a fire call, bro. Like right when I just set everything up and hit you up, and then I got to go rip, dude. And some wanker at the jail decides to pull the sprinkler, pop the sprinkler, head. Flooded the whole place.
So is that the fire call?
Yeah, because as soon as water flows, the alarms go off. The whole place, all the alarms go off in the jail, and they lock
So did you
everybody
get double
down.
paid today? You got maintenance
yeah.
to turn off the water at the jail, and you got fire department pay. There you go.
Yeah, so I double dipped it today.
Dude.
Yeah, so I just got back from that. Yeah,
County maintenance and fire call. Sweet.
And dude, this thing and it shits and gets some water. When them dudes, I guarantee you, it blows their eyelids back when they pull that thing. They don't expect it. I mean, when it goes off, and then there's inches of water flowing out of that cell.
What do you think the PSI is coming out of that?
Well, 60 plus.
You think so?
Out of oh yeah, because it's definitely at least that. Well, yeah. No, probably close to 60 because when I charge it back on, it hits about 57 on at the nozzle right there. That's when it's sitting at the 4-inch main, not the inch.
Right, that's what I'm
that's
saying.
Spraying out of that sprinkler.
'cause
So
isn't it, don't you get
it's
like
probably
60
more.
or 80 out of your house? 60?
No,
like coming out of your
You-
faucet?
You shouldn't. I don't even think your water heater can handle 60.
Huh.
Your city pressure is probably, if I would say, mid 40s to 50.
Okay, I thought it was higher.
That's
than that.
coming from your house. But you also have to think it's a sprinkler head.
So
it
is
pops out, and
does
it's
it condense
and now
down
it's
to a smaller
spraying.
hole? Okay.
So the spray coming out, it's got to be in the probably 80s.
So it's
90s.
like a laser. It's like a water jet laser
Yeah.
at that point. Like you
So
can.
yeah, so
carve-
when they go
carve
up,
your initial on
basically
the
what they
forehead.
do is they take a towel or they take their shirts and they throw it and it snags it and then they pull it and it pops the head. So as soon as they're looking at it, they pull it and wham! It just starts spraying water. So then the
So all
alarms
they have
go
to
off
do is
because
pull
there's
the
water
head.
flow.
Like the head just has to be popped, and
Yeah.
it opens. Like it's not
Well,
a
there's
fire.
like a-
It's not,
There's a little plate on the front of it that is heat sensitive. So like if there was a fire, that plate would warp and pop off, and then the sprinkler would go off. Or they hook the end of it and yank it, and it pops the end off of it anyways.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they just, for what reason? Because like,
Just because they're criminals and they're douchebags.
Man.
Just to piss me off, probably.
I mean, it's probably the best shower they've ever had, but whatever.
Oh, no, it's not, dude. It smells like Thule water, dude, because it's been sitting in them pipes. Oh, yeah, it's been sitting in them pipes for who knows how long, dude.
They don't, like, flush out, like, outside. There's not a valve to just,
Only when we do a yearly check, and that's all you're doing is, like, checking the backflow on them.
Okay.
And so you only let out a little bit of pressure just to make sure that they reseal, kind of thing. You drop pressure, it seals up, make sure the alarm goes off basically what happens is when that sprinkler head hits off, the pressure of water drops, and then that little system reads the flow, and so there's water flow, so you have an alarm that goes off because there should be a fire because you have a sprinkler going.
Right. Correct. Okay.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
Fix that. Pay up, suckers. And then, I was right in the middle of the game. Well, not in the middle, toward the end of the game.
Bengals game.
Vinny's got the Bengals. He picks the Bengals. It's the
first game on my parlay. First game.
Yeah.
And it sucks on your parlay if you go out in the first game. You're just like, whatever.
Wait, but wasn't the score 24-27?
It is now. But when I got on there at halftime, it was 10-3.
When you were sending me, because you were texting me those things, and I was like, "What?"
So there was a special guest on our episode before you got back from your fire call, and
is this where I'm dropping this in?
You can if you want, but
okay.
I mean, we'll see how it goes. You have to check the edit because she couldn't run the sound, so it might sound bad, so it might not make the cut. I'm just saying. But I was told, like, it went into overtime. And I can only watch it on my phone. I don't have the NFL Network. And I was like, come on. So on my phone, I'm watching it, and it shows the Bengals have the ball. That's like, it tells you your downs and yards and where they're at. Cincinnati 42 or Vikings 30, whatever. So I'm like, okay. And then something came up, and I didn't see it. And Mom was like, hey, that when I came in here, there was 35 seconds left, and they're tied. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I grabbed my phone, and I'm watching the Vikings have the ball in overtime, 4th and 1 on the Cincinnati 42. But I don't know, like, if there's a timeout. I don't know if they're running it. I don't know if they're, and it takes a minute for, my phone to catch up to what happened. Like, I'll be looking at it, and it'll say, like, 2 minutes left, and all of a sudden it's like, minute and 45 left. I'm like, well, what happened? And I just have to read it. And, so they were still tied. Bengals had the ball back. My neighbor next door, another older gentleman, not Bob, but another older gentleman, has his son-in-law there. And I hear the tailgate fall down on the truck. And I look out the window, and they're trying to load 2 love seats that are the recliner love seats, And I'm like, I go running out there because, Warren doesn't need to be lifting that kind of stuff. I mean, he's old. And, so
maybe he's got that old man strain.
Not really.
Okay.
He's pretty fragile. Sorry. I would say he did, but he might
Sorry,
have
Warren.
a few years ago. Sorry, Warren, you don't have that.
Don't break a hip,
strength.
dude. Ask Tasha, you break a hip, you're dying.
Oh, dude.
She's brutal that way. She's like, you break a hip,
like,
you're
break a
dying.
hip,
I
you're
was
dying?
like, what? Is that science? What is that? Is that statistic? What's happening?
If you break your hip, you've already peaked. Is that what she's saying? She's like, you break a hip,
you're dying.
That's all downhill.
Done. I'm like, oof.
So then while I'm helping these guys load these love seats in the back of the truck, and I get a phone call from Mom. She's like, do you see the game? Do you see the game? I'm like, no, I'm helping Warren with. She's like, they got it. They kicked a field goal. They won by 3. And I was like, oh, my gosh. So, yeah, we're still in it.
Yeah. I think what happens is you lose that game. It just takes off. I think they just take it off your card.
It doesn't count for anything?
No, because you didn't. They were -3.
Right.
And so they scored 3, which puts it at 0.
Correct.
So it's a no pick.
So you don't get any points for that?
Mm-mm.
Why? I didn't lose it. I still technically
didn't win
won
it.
it.
Also,
did too.
No, you didn't, because it's a -3, and they got the 3.
So with the $10 bet and the $650 payout, the payout just went down because it just
goes
wiped
down,
itself
yeah.
out? No way.
I think
There's
so.
no way. No
Dude,
way.
I don't know.
That's
I'll
bullshit.
I'll have to consult with my bookie.
Good
on that.
heck. Braxton? Jeez.
So
Should we do a phone call? Can we try to do a phone call? Let's do a phone call.
I can try it right here.
Let's see if we can get a phone call. Let's try our first phone call.
See.
Hold him up to the mic on speaker.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get him on call here.
Good
so
night.
We can do I don't know. Yeah, let me call. Let me call the bookie right here.
They can't change They can't change the ticket. That would change the printout of the ticket.
Hold on, but now
it's a
I can't
contract.
hear you. I might have to turn this off. No way.
No, I can hear you fine. It's all good, bro.
I can hear him through my headphones. Can you hear him? I know, but I don't think you'll be able to hear me on here.
Turn your headphones off. Hey. Hey. I'm waving at him in the camera so he's looking down. Hey.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Just turn your headphones off.
That's what I did.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna double call him so he knows
Dude,
how
you
important
have
this
to,
is.
man. But see, if I talk, it echoes.
Gosh dang it. He's a terrible bookie. All right, we'll have to try back later.
Gosh dang it. Man. It's a terrible bookie. You just dropped a notch in friendship for me, too.
I did.
Good
But the saving grace is, though, at least your ticket's still live.
Well, it is still live.
You know what I mean?
Regardless
So
if it takes money away or
Yeah.
not, it's still live. Now we got the Broncos and the Colts. Ugh.
Yeah, so I don't know who you went with that one.
Broncos and the Colts.
I know. Who,
No, the Broncos.
Oh, Broncos. Okay,
I went
so
with
the
the
Colts are
Broncos
playing
games,
still. I think that was a good call. Yeah, I think that was
But the
good.
Broncos are plus 45, and we're going against the Lions that just lost last week. So,
Where you picked the over on them? Oh, plus 4.5.
They're plus 0.4.
4.5.
4.5. They're
You
plus
said
4.5.
I was like 45.
Sorry.
4.5. I thought you were talking about the over and under. Yeah, so that's the big, I was talking about that. That's perfect. Titans. I had it out on my notes because the Titans won, beat the Dolphins, which was absolutely insane. But then the Green Bay goes and loses to the Giants, which messes up my pick'ems, and I go to a tiebreaker, and it was total ass because my tiebreak stuff was all blown up, dude.
Well, how
it's
many
just like the game Thursday night. What in the
With the
world,
Raiders?
dude? It was 42-0 at halftime. You know they fired that coach. I'm pretty sure they fired him that day. But he felt the way he looked during that game, he was flat. Nobody cared. Like everybody was just like, it seemed like that nobody had respect for whatever. But then, dude, Richard Sherman on the halftime of that one,
Yeah.
he literally said what they should do for an NFL record, because they were talking about records, like because those guys were going to be
Right, they're
pushing
heading
and
for the
scoring a
72.
record. Yeah. He goes, what they should do, set a record, is fire the head coach at halftime. That's an NFL record you could get. And I was just like, oh my god! But he didn't talk about it on the post game. Like I'm sure they probably in his ear were like, okay, listen, you do not. But like Gonzalez, Gonzalez, yeah. He even said it too. He goes, He goes, man, they were flat. He goes, I'm sorry to say this, but it's time. Like it's time for you to get a new coach and stuff like that. They were all talking about it, and then the next morning, like Chargers, lets their head coach go.
He was done.
He's gone.
I mean, that was an embarrassing, dude.
The only reason you scored 21 points is because they had like their third string in.
Oh, right.
End.
Yeah,
Like,
the
it was
Raiders
crazy.
were like,
There was some epic stuff. That big old Jenkins, that lineman catching that ball, he's just all
Yes.
hoofing it down the field, dude. It looked like he was going slow. Crosby's running behind him, and then they said they got to the sideline, and everybody was like, dude, we got to check the GPS. Because they wanted to see how fast he was running. They're like, you were running like 20 miles an hour. And he's 6'3", 320 pounds.
right.
And so they did. They showed the analysis or whatever, and they showed him take off running 17 miles an hour. That boy was running.
Holy cow!
Yeah, and then the coach was all doing the arm pumping thing because this dude was just pumping his arms with all he had. It was epic, dude. He's 34 years old too. Like he's an older guy in comparison to the NFL stuff.
Right.
So, and then the one dude, there was number 18 for the Raiders. Like read this. Did you see them read the play?
I saw him read the
it?
play. He just jumped right between them, one hand grab,
runs up. Yeah, he'd read the play, so he like ran past the play. The guy threw it and he caught it behind him. Oh yeah, it was epic. Yeah, it was pretty sick. Sick. So that was that game. It's just for watching of the NFL is phenomenal right now. Now for betting on it sucks. Because you just don't know. You just don't know, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I know, but that's the fun part about it, I guess, is you got to take your chances. You have fun with it.
Yeah.
You know it.
Shout out Lee and Tori. They're headed up to old Buffalo. They're going to watch the Buffalo Bills and the Dallas Cowgirls. So good luck for both teams. Tori, Bills fan. Lee, Cowgirl fan. So that's going to be pleasant.
Oh,
he better not bitch out either, and he better wear his cowboy stuff. I need to hit him up about that. I got to double check
you do.
That.
Need to find out. That's tomorrow,
because
right?
I know he has. I've seen him wear Bill stuff, and it's super. I don't even know how to say it.
Oh man, I don't know.
But yeah. So and then I'm deep into the old Nutcracker here.
Guess who?
That's hammering it out.
Oh,
that's always cool.
Sorry.
Go ahead. What you got?
Well, I was looking it up. I heard it on the radio yesterday that Flacco is coming back into the game.
No, he's in. He's the Browns quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, he played last week.
Did he play last week?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was last week he played.
Yeah.
38 years old.
He looked great
here we
too.
go. It was like the best game he's had in like forever.
Oh yeah, he was banging it out, dude. He looked good as hell.
Oh,
Flacco's back, bro.
Yeah, dude.
He once was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
Well, then I thought if they're bringing him back, I don't know if he. They said he was playing pickleball and stuff. Like did he go out for a year and then come back this year? I think the way they made it sound like he'd been out of football and now he's back in, and he was like, didn't look like he left at all. They were like, yeah, he was winning pickleball championships. You know, he was playing pickleball tournaments, and now he's back in the NFL.
I'm sure, but them dudes. I mean, when you're still like in the mix of stuff, especially this year with how many injuries there are, you better be ready.
Oh yeah,
like,
I mean, Brett Favre's probably got a couple of phone calls.
Dude, Montana, he better start warming up, dude. Oh, Joe Montana.
Yeah,
but no, dude, I'm pretty sure that's a right statistic that he was at once the highest paid quarterback. He had signed the biggest contract. It was after when he played for the Ravens, and he won the Super Bowl and he was a free agent the following year. It was like the perfect timing. Won the Super Bowl, so you're the top pick, and you're a free agent the following year. So they re-signed him for like some awful amount, which good for him. But then he just started sucking hind tit. But yeah, he's back, fired up. Dude, Chargers, lose
31-27 last week.
Yeah, they banged it out for sure. Yeah, but I was saying Nutcracker, we're full in the old Nutcracker. I think that's probably the guest you're talking about. His mom and dad are here visiting.
They are
because I haven't seen my daughter except for today in like 5 days.
Because of all the practices.
Yeah, dude. Because I'm at work and I get home from work and she's already at the dance studio until I see her at night to get like maybe I throw some food down her or whatever, and she goes and gets in the shower, and then it's like time to settle down. And her legs been bugging her, like her calf and her Achilles, like that tendonitis stuff right there, just from. Tasha and her were trying to find out, like, oh, well, what did I do to do it? I'm like, you just are overtraining it. That's a lot of time. I mean, you're
for
spending
5 days straight,
hours. Yeah. Well, and they've been doing it for the last 2 months.
Right.
You know what I mean? Preparing. And then, like, now this last week is every night. Yeah. They're 3-4 hours a night. It's crazy, man. So they had the walkthrough, rehearsal, whatever, Thursday night. So I didn't have to go to that one. That's why I watched the game. And then went last night, went well. Everything went good. And then they'll have the final will be tonight.
That'll be nice.
Like the final night. So Mom and Dad are going on that one with us for that. So that'll be cool. And then there's like Sweeney and Amber going because Tyler they're going to bring Tyler.
Oh, nice.
Their little daughter. Yeah, she's like, Alexa. She tries to say it. But yeah, so that's what we've been into. And then this fire call thing today. But other than that, dude, we just been doing it up. Colder than balls here. I don't know about Utah. Mom and Dad said it was a little bit cool, or it's cooler here than it was there, which is weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's been warm. It's been, like I said to you earlier this week, I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm wearing thin thermals. I'm wearing other, thermal pants that are really thin. One day when I shouldn't have, I should have worn the day before. It's like, it's kind of in that mid, like you don't know. It's right on the border. Like, do I wear this? Do I wear that? I'm opening doors on my truck, closing doors on my truck. So it's just
getting the AC on and the AC off.
Getting the AC on, off. Yeah, it's kind of in that limbo mode right now. So, and it's not too bad out there today. It was pretty decent today, but I don't know.
It was like 14 degrees this morning.
Really?
Yeah, it was cold,
dude.
It was chilly. Well, speaking of cold.
How cold was it last night when you were videoing those? When you were sending me that video at 10:30?
Cold.
Those coyotes out there barking in your backyard.
Oh, yeah, everything was already frosty, and then my big ass decides to climb up on the toy hauler because I thought I could get a higher elevation. Get me some elevation to look down on these things. So first I was out there.
Yeah.
Well, we were sitting there in the living room, and I just hear one just howling. And
you could hear it through the window.
Hear that? Yeah, we're sitting there watching TV. In the living room. And I told Mom, I was like, you hear that? She's like, what? And then you hear him, oh, and she's like, is that? I go, that's a coyote. And so we go out. We were right on the patio when I walk out there with the phone and record it. And then she's like, how do you know if it's like if that's not a real dog or a coyote? I'm like, oh, I can tell. Real dogs don't sound like this. They're not yipping and ki-ying and then howling. So there was a group that was further west piping off. Sounded maybe like two of them. I wouldn't say three, possibly, but I feel like I think there's three, so there's probably only two. And then there was another one that was right across from the back of my fence. It sounded like he was right over, that old greenhouse that's across the canal there? I don't know if you remember that one. You've never been to this house. Never mind.
I have not been to a new house.
So there's like an old farmhouse that's like across the way in the field. It sounded like he was right on the other side of that one. And he was just straight. He was howling at them other ones. And so I was like, oh, gosh. So, dude, what do? I throw on my duck down insulated bibs, throw my sweatshirt on. I go out. I'm looking for them. And just as I get out there, like now there's like I get a car driving by. I get another car driving by. So now it's like, I don't know what was going on because now it's kind of traffic-y. Not like a ton, but there's like a car that drove by Coleman. And then there's another one. So I was like, what else am I going to do? So I climbed up on my toy hauler on the top. That thing's already frosty. So it was a terrible idea to get up there.
Slide.
Oh, dude, my phone fell out of my pocket and it hit the ground or hit the roof and was just sliding to fall off.
Oh, God.
Like it wouldn't stop. And I hurry up and caught it. And I had to set it over by like the skylight in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I was sitting up on the toy hauler, dude, just scanning around. And it was cold. Like I could just see my breath, because I had the phone out. So in case if I got something, I could record it. So the light shining up and then I could just see my breath just coming out of there. And it was already frosted over. But I never saw anything because it was like every time he'd be like, a car would drive by and I'm like, okay, now I'm going to get a break. And it's not that I couldn't look and see it without, without having, with running the thermal, but it's just I couldn't hear. And then it felt like as the cars were driving by, it was keeping them like not active.
Did you take any calls? Did you like kai-eye or bark
No,
at them?
and I tried to howl with my mouth like a doucher. I'm all woo, trying to do some stuff, see if I can get them lighted up, because I was like, I'd already climbed my big ass up on the toy hauler, and so then I was like, dude, oh man, I was already dangerous as it is because everything's all frosty, and so I was like, I don't want to climb back down,
and then climb back,
climb back up, and just like the risk. It's weird. Can you see that?
Your light flickering?
Yeah.
A little bit. Only when you brought it up.
Oh, that's cool. Probably the bulb's going out. I must be sitting in the dark during this pod. My light's flickering in my studio.
My light's flickering in the studio. It's a party studio right now.
Yeah, dude, strobing out. If you guys are watching on YouTube, we're throwing it down. Yeah. But yeah, so no, I didn't get to see anything. I didn't stay up there for too long, but I did get that video, the audio, so I sent that to you.
Yeah, I thought you went out coyote hunting. I'm like,
oh, dude, I almost
I'm
did
thinking
too.
he went to the Nutcracker.
Yeah.
And then after the Nutcracker was over, he swapped his clothes out and he's out. Like, forget this. I'm gonna go get me some coyotes. So
I thought about it, and it might happen tonight because I'm like, they're calling me. You know,
dude, I want to go, and I think tonight would be a good night to go.
It is. It's supposed to be cold. It's supposed to be like 15. It never got over. It's like 48 degrees right now.
The moon's going to be out. They're going to be out looking for food.
I was supposed to go tomorrow, except Mom and Dad are here, and I felt like it'd be an a-hole move for me to go hunt coyotes all day long.
They're retired, aren't they? Sleeping in. You can go out in the morning.
Yeah,
can't you?
because Walker's like, hey, you want to go Sunday? I was like, yep.
Yeah.
And I was like, gosh. That's the only thing That's the only thing I first say yes to. Is anytime I get asked, oh yeah, I'm going, and then I have to figure out what I'm having to cancel so I can go coyote hunting. Who I'm gonna piss off because I'm going coyote hunting.
Yeah.
But
Like,
speaking of hunting, let's talk about some duck hunting because you're an avid duck hunter now, dude.
I'm not avid.
I hear. So Vinny is now a duck hunter, folks that are listening.
No.
Oh. He's been multiple times already. Slaying
I've gone
the
once
ducks.
this year.
Oh, what?
Well,
I thought you went twice. Once with your buddy, once with your kid, and then another time with your kid. Twice with Cannon, and then once with your buddy. No?
Okay, that's right. No, we
think
only went once with Cannon, and then once with the neighbor. And then going with the neighbor doesn't really count. He just basically made it a scouting trip for some spots. We didn't even... Like, we didn't have the decoys out. We didn't do any duck calling. We just kind of, like, oh, yeah, this will be good. Like, let's do it. Like, go get the decoys out of the truck.
He's all honey dicking you. He's like, hey, walk over there and see if you can see this would be a good spot for ducks. And you're like, oh, yeah, it looks excellent. Cool, come on back. I'm going to hit it next weekend.
We shot a pheasant. He shot a pheasant. He went across the river there, and this pheasant kicked up, and he shot it, and then we looked for it for 20 minutes. We couldn't find it. Like,
really?
It just flew out straight in front of him into this little group of kind of trees and high grass. And I don't know if it went down. We watched it from the other side. We watched it go down. And the other guy we were with did not want to walk across it was kind of a metal dam across this canal. And he's like, I'm not walking across that. I'm going to fall. So we thought Preston would just grab it, and bring it back, and then he's like, I can't find it. So then I shimmied across, and then AJ was like, fine, I'll go. And so we went over there, and it was gone. So I don't know if it like scurried off and went somewhere, or no clue. So we didn't.
Could have if you're winged it and it can't fly anymore, it'll just hit the ground and go. It'll just run. Was it a male or female?
Dude, I have no idea. How do you tell?
The crazy thing of it is the male is actually the pretty one.
It's the same thing on freaking peacocks too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was a pretty one. Yeah, it was a male.
The red with like
had the red
eye and stuff. Yeah, that's a male.
Yeah, it was a male.
Yeah.
It was a good sized one too. So he's like, no, I got it.
Need a dog. Need that dog.
Yeah, we need a dog.
Take Piper. Is she a bird dog?
She's supposed to be a bird dog.
Dude,
but as soon as I grab a gun,
you grab that gun,
gone.
she's pissing herself.
She's gone, dude. You'd think that some fireworks just went off or something, because as soon as I walk up with a gun, she's gone. I can do all my coyote calls. I can, bark, howl, Squawk, dude, the rabbit, all that. She just sits there like no big deal.
Has she ever been around? She ever been around a gunshot?
When we were at the Adobe house, yeah. Like when we went out and just shooting stuff around the Adobe house.
And she was right there by you?
Oh, no.
After the
no.
Yeah, but so she was freaked out living in the Adobe house when we're shooting outside the Adobe house.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she's
never been around. Yeah,
okay.
I've never trained her. At the time, I didn't. There was no reason to. I was only coyote hunting. I didn't need a bird dog. I never thought about it or anything. And now she just. I could walk into the room with a shotgun or my rifle in my hand, and she's tail between her legs, and she's finding something to crawl under. Like she's
like,
not having it at all.
About this life.
But yeah, we were talking about gun safety this week. Is that what we were talking about? Is that where we're going?
Well, I think
right here?
what I was going to see with your duck hunting is like your like the rules and regulations
no, I don't know
of
the
duck
rules.
hunting.
I know none of the rules.
Yeah, I just didn't know. Like
you told me one of the rules, and I'm like, no, you don't have to do that. You told me we have to tag the duck with our name.
Yeah, I believe it's a federal law that you have to mark it. Tag it with your name. I don't know that there's an actual tag. Like
there isn't.
That's the thing I didn't look up. I think you just have to mark it like however you mark it is yours. Only if it's going to be out of your possession is what I heard. So if you go, like what do they call it, to go into your abode. So like if you were driving from the hunting spot to your house,
right?
You don't have to.
Okay.
But if you were to stop and get out of the truck and go
hunt at another spot or something,
go eat or something, leave them. They have to be tagged with your name.
No clue.
But also like when you're hunting in groups, but it would only be to do the fact of if you're in a blind, or if you're all like doing a ground blind or like A-frame or a hut, whatever you want to call it, and you're hunting, you're supposed to have them piled up. And like basically somewhat, I know these are like I think these are rules or laws that don't get enforced very often. I guess is kind of how it went. Whoa, hey, this is our caller.
Oh, it's our caller.
Oh, hold on, we got us a caller.
You got to turn off your headphones.
Braxtoni. Hey, you're live on Flapping Your Gums. What are you doing?
You guys needed some bedding.
I told him, I said I gotta call my bookie.
You guys needed some good betting information here.
Yeah.
Clarification.
I got it all.
Yeah, he's got it all. We needed some clarification from our bookie.
What?
So Vinny, he put the bet with the Vikings and the Bengals,
and he went
Bengals
-3, which means -3 will be a scratch. It'll recalculate your whole entire parlay without that and still pay you out.
So if it said 650 on the payout, my payout just went down?
Your payout went down, but you didn't lose.
Well,
but
no, we figured that.
Ticket's still alive. You just lose that bet. Ticket money went down, but you're still alive.
Oh, come on. That's bullshit.
I mean, better than losing.
Well, that's true, but I mean, you picked them to win by at least 3, and they've won by at least 3, and you should still get the pick.
It's gotta be over 3, bud.
Wow. They just honey dick you everywhere they can.
Hey, somebody's got to do it. I'm in the same boat. I had a -3 as well. It's a scratch.
Oh, dang.
There
So what do you
it
got
is.
on the Broncos game?
Lions.
What'd you say? With the Broncos, he said Lions.
Oh, I went Broncos.
Oh, well, that's where you went wrong. You might as well not even worry about that scratch.
Where'd you go, money line or spread?
Oh, dude, I don't know. I got too many out there to remember what is going on right now.
He's got a freaking cork board. He's got all the stuff up there with lines running to everything.
I've got a whole wall in a bedroom, dude. Just corkboard. 50.
Dude.
I got a 50 by 50 wall, dude.
That's insane.
No,
No,
not really.
you just lost your ticket on the Broncos.
You guys on a podcast right now?
Oh yeah, you're
Right.
live on it, bro.
You're live right now.
Man, dude, I'm headed to the Dollar Tree.
Oh, when are you getting at the old Dollar Tree?
Dude, times are tough, man. Got to get some ribbons.
Times are tough. All that money's on them tickets.
Times are tough. Maybe if I win a couple of these parlays, I'll be able to go to Walmart next week. Gotta go get some mac and cheese and top ramen.
That's it. You gotta make it through the week. Get them cards to play out.
Yeah. Dude, you know how it is. As county workers, we don't make as much as them delivery guys.
That's right. We don't make that UPS money.
We don't make that UPS money. Dude.
Whatever. I'm actually going to the Dollar Tree as soon as we're done with this.
We gotta make our budgets where it matters, man.
That's right. We gotta make it up by getting frugal at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Well, hey. Also, are you coming on? We're gonna get you on. You coming on as a guest after Christmas?
In the new year? Maybe I will in the new year.
No, I'm gonna need you on like right after Christmas, like 2 days after.
2 days after Christmas?
Yeah,
What is that, a
27th.
Wednesday?
It's like a Wednesday. Maybe a Tuesday.
Maybe.
You're live on.
You got-
We got you right here.
I could probably make that happen.
All right, we'll make it happen. I'm gonna give you
Make
that
it happen.
mixer, dude. We're gonna have us our first in-person interview.
In-person guest. Well, no.
Stressful.
It's stressful.
Oh,
All
you're
right, brother.
fine.
We're gonna let you go. We'll
right, man.
We'll get you if we got some more questions on what's going down with our parlays.
Yeah,
we'll
just
hit
let me
you.
know.
You're our bookie.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
All right, brother. All right, later.
All right, see ya.
Well, there you have it, dude.
you go.
That dude just knows, man.
You're as bad as mom trying to run electronics, dude.
It's too
terrible.
much. Jacking me all up, dude. It's messing me all up, huh? Get my headphones back on here so I can get you back up. All right, well that's good. We got our
answer. We got our answer.
Our call-in bookie that came on. I like that. Getting us dialed in there. He can't even. He don't even know what games he's got. There's so many. That's what I'm telling you. He'll have a whole ticket slew of them, dude.
Dang, dude. I mean, that's fun. I mean, but you guys are so close. And if he can just run down and get the tickets and stuff, when my ticket blows, I got to like, hey, brother, you want to go down and get me another one? And you're like,
Yeah. No, I'm sitting here in my lounging shorts. Oh yeah, dude. Well, yeah. So we were talking about the duck hunt and stuff, but I just had that. But then I did have a story. So you have one.
I have
mine.
a story.
I'll tell you. Well, I'll tell you mine
Yeah, tell me yours.
because mine's not. I don't know the people. Yours,
Okay.
you know the dude. So mine, we were talking about this dude was hunting ducks. So we were talking about gun safety. So gun safety, we are very adamant about. Like we for sure want, like you got to have gun safety, especially if you're hunting. Like when we hunt coyotes, we always make sure that we're dropping mags, making sure that they're not chambered.
Take the round
when we're
out,
getting in a
unchamber it,
vehicle.
yep.
It's on safety when we're sitting. You turn your safety off at, once you're set up to take the shot, you turn the safety off.
Right.
Perfect. So, this guy was talking about duck hunting, and so they're with a guy, and they're doing the ground blinds, where you're like laying down and like some of them call them coffin blinds or whatever.
Right, coffin blind.
So they have a key word, which most duck hunting people like that, or like when we're hunting, like Walker and I we always would say take them, and so I've just kind of used that when we go also. It's just so like if I'm calling or whatever on the coyote and it's coming in and you have it on your side, then I'm like take him, like it's good. Or if I'm video, if we're doing camera work,
Right.
then that's the call. So that's what theirs was like, get it or whatever it was. So they're laying there, and this dude had to have had his safety off on his shotgun, and they say, get him, and he grabs his gun, boom, first round goes off. The dudes that are with him are like, holy, like they think he's on it. You know, like he must have been like, you know, like ready a lineman right. reading the snap type thing. And then he's up, shoots a couple more, and they start getting him coming down. Well, then it sets in. He had just blown his toes off.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. And still sat up because adrenaline pumping or whatever. Still sits up, but then he, like you said, I don't know if I hit any. Well, because now your mind goes to, holy. And it was like, dude, field goal style. Blew the middle toes out of his feet. And so he's got a big toe and a pinky toe, and he knocked the 3 out in the middle.
So
that's a pretty tight pattern.
His barrel had to have been pretty close to his foot.
I think. Well, if you're laying down, that barrel's sitting down the side of you, and you go to grab it.
If his barrel had been back any farther, he might have taken off the whole foot.
The whole nub.
Oh,
the whole tip just nubbed her out. So I mean, I guess still got your balance and your pinky toe like a little rudder toe. Keep you going. That's crazy, bro. Can you imagine? The crazy thing is to be able to still shoot up and take a couple of shots to get I think they were goose hunting. Get a couple of geese down before you worry about that you blew your toe off. 3 toes.
Dude.
Like that. Yeah, so he just goes around.
Like you said, adrenaline to keep you going for a second. You wouldn't even notice.
Yeah. Boof.
But
so you had one, your neighbor.
So my neighbor.
Not the old one.
Not the old one. My neighbor, Redbeard.
Old Redbeard.
He went out the other day on his kayak and went floating the river. He works at the coal mine, so he had like middle of the week off. So he goes out in the middle of the week. You know, there's not a lot of hunters out in the middle of the week. We're all working. And
like a canoe or a kayak, like the one you sit down in and it like has the. I think a kayak you have to like seal yourself in.
He
right?
said kayak, and I've seen his. So he has a kayak.
Right.
So he's sitting in it. It's got the little hole thing. Like he said kayak.
Sure,
so I'm pretty sure that's what he's got.
Old Redbeard. Old Redbeard
out
on the kayak. It was like a Viking.
On the kayak in the river.
Viking style.
And he was like, he sent me a picture, and it's got 2 ducks on the tailgate. There's a dog in the back, of the truck, and he goes, some luck on a bad day. And I said, well, that doesn't look like a bad day.
Where does he put the dog on the kayak?
I think the dog just walks the bank. I don't know.
Huh.
I have no idea.
I'm going to need you to get you some details on this story.
Some more details. Well, you're going to want some more details in a minute. But because I didn't ask him the question, everybody's going to want to know. So apparently he's out there in the morning. I'm not sure about what time. I think he's been taking his kids to school. So we're looking like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. So, it's 22 degrees, whatever. He's floating the river in this kayak. And he's got his shotgun and stuff like that. Well, he tipped it over. So he gets tipped over in the middle of the river. He loses his bullet belt, is what he said. Lost my bullet belt.
Yeah.
Had to drag the kayak to the shore. So he's soaking wet. He's getting his kayak over to the shore. He said he went back later in the afternoon with a magnet and a rope to go out and try to find his bullet belt in the bottom of the river. And while he's doing this, some kids start shooting at ducks, and he gets pelted with steel shot. And,
so he got shot when he was trying to fish out his shell belt. Okay.
Yes. So he's trying to get his shell belt out, and all of a sudden he gets shot at, or not shot at, but shooting goes in his direction. He gets pelted.
Yeah.
So I sent him a text. I'm like, so did any of this, pellets penetrate? And he's like, no. He goes, I scurried over to the shore. And or he said, no, they just welted. And I says, well, did the kid freak out that he shot you? He goes, he didn't even know. He goes, I scurried to the edge of the shore on private property, made sure I wasn't bleeding, and then just waited. So
he's all hiding in the kayak in the tules.
So I don't know if he bailed out of the kayak and made it over to the shore, or how, or if he just took the kayak over to the shore. But yeah, he got pelted, got some welts. Obviously, the first thing I asked him in the beginning of the text was if he was okay, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm just sore and cold and freezing from pulling the kayak to the shore and everything like that." The one thing I didn't ask him was if he got his belt back,
That's I was going to say the same thing. Well, and I wonder. I don't know. I think because I think it's brass.
No, because if it's steel shot, it's all metal. Right?
Oh, yeah. So
the steel shot should be able to hook up to.
Yeah, I guess if you got a pretty good magnet, go through the casing of the shell. That's a good idea. I was thinking about the brass. You got high brass, low brass on the outside of it. Yeah. Yeah. Steel shot. Good.
No,
well,
steel shot. He should have been able to pick
be
it up,
continued. Find out.
Yeah,
First of all, find out if he was, swimming in the water after he flipped or tipped, or if he was wearing bibs. You know what I mean? His his waders. If he's wearing duck waders, or if he went straight up raw dog and was as cold as shit, freezing his little bag off, little ginger bag.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to ask him. I can ask him I text him right now about the belt. The other part's going to be too much to.
No, you're good. We can always hit it up. Just put it in the notes, and we'll hit him up on the next one.
Put it in the notes. To be continued. You guys can learn if you found the belt.
Yeah,
or not
dude.
Next week.
We'll see. It'll be on it next week. We'll see if the belt. Boop, boop. Next week's Christmas.
Maybe next.
Homie. So when we come on next week, we will be doing. I think we're going to try to do it again.
It'll be before Christmas. We're going to record this before Christmas.
Why is that cutting in there? I hope that audio holds up.
I can hear you okay, but I guess I'm cutting out on your end.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's all right. I think we'll be all right. What? Was you yelling at somebody?
I was just... Yeah, I just yelled, get off the internet in my household.
Oh. Get off the internet! I need some bandwidth up in this bitch. I need some bandwidth. Yeah.
Gosh,
so,
dude, my bandwidth's not.
So I think we'll be able to do. Yeah, we're gonna be able to do that one, and then like that, I'm gonna get Braxton on here. I'll bring him over. But yeah, so we'll be normal. We'll hit it again on a Saturday. So I think I don't know if they got games next week on a Saturday. I don't know why they had them this week, which is it's rad, but it's weird. It's not the playoffs. That's not for another.
It's not the playoffs. Yeah, that's
like
kind of messed me up
when
they were starting to do games on Saturday. I'm like, are we already in the playoffs? No, we're not in the playoffs.
Yeah, no. And then they only put it on the NFL Network, so they must have got the rights to it. Because when you said it wasn't
money,
oh boy, when you said, oh, they don't have, I can't get it, I was like, what? And so I started looking, and
are all the games today on the NFL Network?
Yeah, all three of them.
Oh man. So we're talking about Christmas, and I have some stuff I want to talk about before our Christmas episode because I would like to get comments on some of this stuff before that we can talk about next week. Like you guys want to listen to it, make a comment on YouTube, flapping your gums at yahoo.com. Text Hessey, text Vinny if you guys are any of our friends that have our number, whatever. But
or if you want our number, I'll give you Vinny.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to think that's cool. We don't need to put that out there right now. I mean,
or if you want to become friends, we can.
Has to be friends. Let's start with YouTube first, and then we'll go from there.
Perfect.
We'll see how your comments go if we want to be friends with you or not.
Yeah, that's right.
So I was listening to a podcast, and they kind of made fun of. I want to say they made fun of our podcast, but I don't think it was just our podcast in general. It's a pretty legit podcast, but they were like, yeah, we're doing this podcast. It's like, oh, hey, how was your week? What did you do last week? Oh, yeah, how was your day? And I'm like, really? That's how we start our podcast? And they were making fun of podcasters starting that way. That was something I wanted to throw out there to you just to talk to you about it. Like, really? They're just dogging on us? But I have your top 5 Santas. Like, your top 5 movie Santas.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I know some, you know some. I mean, there's other, older people know different ones. Like
the Santa on Miracle on 34th Street.
Right, but are you going to go with the original 1935 version, or are you going to go with the 1980 something version? You know, the colored one. There's like a black and white one and a colored one. You know what I mean?
But also, didn't they just take
the one
it's the same one and they just colored it?
No.
No. Are you sure?
No, they remade the Miracle on 34th Street into kind of more modern time. They did
Okay.
take the black and white one and make it colored. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like if you're saying Miracle on 34th Street, it should be that one.
The one,
Black and
the original,
white, or the
original,
original. I would
the
say.
original. Okay,
Yeah.
so you got that Santa Claus. You've got Bad Santa, Billy Bob Thornton. You've got.
No, that one's not even in my
He doesn't
top
count.
five.
He doesn't
dude,
count.
He's terrible.
I mean, is he not a
No.
Santa? Is he a mall Santa? Don't count.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. They'll have to chime.
Okay.
We'll have to hear
Well,
it. From,
I
are we
wasn't saying he was-
answering it or they?
I wasn't saying it was in the top 5. I'm just throwing out Santas.
Yeah,
like,
thrown out
so-
what we're looking for.
So you got Tim Allen. You got Tim
Yeah.
Allen as Santa Claus. You've got Kurt Russell on the Christmas Chronicles that they came out with.
Okay.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
On there. You've got the one on Miracle on 34th Street. Or the original or even the new one, whichever one you feel like you think is better. Do you remember the Santa Claus from Ernest Saves Christmas?
No.
No.
I know Fred Claus.
Okay, but it's not Fred. He's Fred Claus. What about his brother?
That's what I mean. He's the actual Santa Claus, but he's still Santa Claus in the movie.
His brother is. Yeah.
But I'm just saying the movie.
Yeah, Fred Claus the movie. Yes.
Fred Claus the movie
But dude,
has
his
Santa
hair
Claus in
he's
it.
bald. He's
Oh, no,
like,
it's rad. I love it. Bald,
but I think he's
growed
sick.
out.
Isn't he sick in the movie? Like he's got he got the flu. That's why he can't do what he's doing because he's all sick. I mean, it's just.
I don't know.
But it's still okay. You got him as a Santa Claus. I can't even remember. There were some other ones that.
Yeah, there's a
I was
grip
trying
of
to
them.
think
So whoever is listening,
who's your
let's
top
hear it.
Santa? Like
Oh, my
who's your
top
top
one?
Santa? Like when you think of Santa Claus movie, and you're like, okay, he kind of brings in like the best looking, kind of the jolly, the voice, the attitude, that just he gives that Santa feel.
Oh, dude. So, okay. One joking aside, the one that is hilarious is the Black Santa on next Friday that robs their apartment. And they chase him down. They're like, there's Santa Claus that robbed me. No, but I remember this movie. Oh, I don't know if you're going to remember it either. It was an old one.
It was called the Santa Claus.
Yep, I think probably
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
I think he was the best one.
and it had that little elf that went off and tried to start his own toy thing or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I can't remember the actor's
Chris
name.
Kringle, or I don't, was it called the Santa Claus or Santa Claus?
Well,
I remember as a kid seeing that one, and
Yeah.
that dude was legit. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't pure white beard.
Right,
Like it was like
right.
white, but it had like it was his actual beard. So it wasn't like bleached, and it wasn't like overly white. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure that there's people that have that white of beards, but it just seemed. Remember, it started out with him like. He was wasn't he on like a horse and buggy or something? Reindeer.
Yeah.
It wasn't even reindeer. It was like
And he-
horse and buggy, and he went to some old
and
house.
he whittled
Yeah.
like wood and stuff.
And if you've seen that movie before, no, I think there's two different ones. I think you're thinking of a different one that had. It's an old school one, but he goes to like New York and makes his own toys and goes and like starts a toy factory or something, or I don't know. I can't remember that one. I think that one's a little more newer than the one I'm thinking of. But I couldn't tell you. But I think
This
that
guy right here.
no, you gotta hold this way. That's the one with the dude. So I do like that Santa Claus for sure.
So that
It's
is
similar to
Santa.
that.
That's called Santa Claus, the movie 1985.
Yeah, it may be in that one, and I might be just comparing the two of them together. The first one I remember was like a kind of dark scene, and he's riding through the snow to go to some like old cabin thing up in the snow, and I don't even know. I think it's like a horse and carriage, maybe.
Okay,
And
yeah.
the storm is getting crazy. But that's
And
the
that
one I
might-
think you're
that
talking
might have
about,
been it.
where the kid, the little elf, goes to New York or whatever and starts.
Dudley Moore. The guy's
Yep,
name was Dudley Moore.
That's
And
the elf.
yeah, That's the elf that breaks away and starts trying to compete
Dude, that's
against
85.
Santa.
That's old.
1985.
But I think that's a bomber. He's a bomb one. But I don't know. Let's hear it in. I think people should let us know.
So I think
you got a week,
little bit
people.
There's
you got
a little bit
week
of controversy. Like people are, like old school. I don't want to say old school, but maybe in our age group or whatever, we're going with like Tim Allen, But like now, these younger kids, 13, 14, 15 or whatever, it's Kurt Russell on the Christmas Chronicles because it's readily available on Netflix. They can watch it all the time. That's the one.
Well, I think he did do a good one. He did do well. I think there's one out that's called Fat Santa.
Oh,
and with Mel Gibson, and I just heard that, on the radio, and they were saying it's good, but it's
like brand new.
And I know, I think it's like a couple years old.
Okay.
It ain't, but it ain't kid friendly. I think it's like, dude, it's crazy. It's supposedly it's supposed to be good.
What about that one that's called what? Violent? No, what's it called? Violent Night. It's on Netflix.
That one. That one
it's
too,
horror.
Tasha.
It's horror. All right, so there's your Santa Claus question. All right, so then I have same kind of Christmas question, and this one you and I can answer, and then I hope we get comments on this and if you do comment on this, I'd like some details. Okay, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Would it be considered? Is it a Christmas movie?
I think that's like that's a huge.
It's a huge debate.
Debate for sure. So this one says. It says it's a black comedy.
On your Fat Santa?
On Fat Man. It's called Fat Man, not Fat
Santa.
Man. Sorry, Fat Man. American black comedy action film, written, directed, holiday tradition follows a jaded Santa Claus who struggles often. It's like, man, I was trying to find like where it tells us the plot. Oh, here it is. Rural Christmas present workshop of an old isolated farm near the small town of North Peak, Alaska, struggling with declining income over the years due to children becoming increasingly vicious. The United States government, who maintains interest, share his business because Christmas is a major economic stimulus, starts cutting back on their subsidized to remedy Chris's income. U.S. military Captain Jacobs is sent to propose a 2-month contract. So it's like, dude, I heard on the radio and they were like saying like it's one of those Haida movies, like the ones you're like, oh man, when you look at it, you're like, it's dumb, like it's not gonna be good.
And then when you watch it, you're like,
when they watch it, like, dude,
cool.
This was epic. Yeah.
Oh,
so I think it's more like,
right.
It's like action. It's an action-packed one.
There you go.
But yeah, that's what it looks like on the.
Oh, dude, that doesn't even look like a Santa Claus movie I want to go watch. Like, really? It doesn't look all jolly and happy.
No, guy's all on the front with his freaking AR-15. Yeah, but they were playing a clip of it. It sounds pretty intense. But yeah, okay, so that's what we want. So hit us up. Let us know like some Santa Claus movies. Who's your favorite Santa of past or present too? You know what I mean? Like you said, the newer stuff. That's a great idea. I know I'll put some thought into it too and come up with some. Maybe I'll watch Fat Man and see.
I'm thinking so. I'm thinking we're.
Yeah, see what it's doing. It might be intense. I'm gonna watch it tonight, probably.
Ooh. Hey, you guys, you want to watch a Christmas movie?
Yeah, I got a Christmas movie for you. They're like,
Mom and Dad are gonna love that.
It's all surround sound, just busting up. But yeah, all right, dude. I think that was good. Unless you got some other stuff, or we gotta say.
And the Die Hard question. I want the Die Hard question.
That is a huge question. I say no, but I don't know. Because it's not. It's the plot of the movie and the basis of it has nothing to do with Christmas. It's just at that time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's where I get it. That's where I do the separation of it.
See,
there's no Santa Claus. It's just happening during Christmas. It's a Christmas party and stuff like that. Like there's nothing that bases the movie. If you were to do that same movie in the 4th of July. Is it now an Independence Day movie?
July, right.
You know. But yeah. So
and it came out in July. That was the whole thing. Like it came out in July when they released the movie in theaters in July. But I mean, there's debate on he comes in with a Christmas present off the airplane. There's snow. There's
because I think it's just based on Christmas time.
He's got, like you said, it's got the party. He wraps the dude up in Christmas lights, like they kind of like. But I think, like you said, it's just he's using the tools or
he's using the means that are there.
He's using what's there.
The season.
Yeah. So I mean, like you said, if it wasn't a Christmas tree, would he shove a firecracker or firework up some guy's butt and like explode him? That kind of thing. Yeah. But I still say it's a Christmas movie. I mean, It's not one of those that you like on Christmas. Like this time of year, you're like, okay, I'm gonna watch Die Hard because it's a Christmas movie. Yeah. Because you can watch it all year long. But it's got the snow.
When's the last time you watched it on Christmas?
Yeah, never.
Okay, perfect. So, all right, well, chime in. Let us know. Yeah, let us know. Cool. All right, brother. That's it. Okay. Let's we'll hit it again. We'll get some. Hit us up. Let us know because we got Christmas coming up. So let's see what you got.
Okay.
All right, bro.
All right, man.
Peace.